Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Tech Tip Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about software-defined storage and how you can scale up and scale down with software-defined storage. If you have any questions, please use the control panel on your right-hand side and type it in your question. I'll be monitoring it throughout, so if it's an urgent question that Howard's covering right then and there, I'll go ahead and stop him, have him get to your question. But if not, don't fret, we'll definitely get to it at the end. Or if you want to save your questions till the end, that's fine too. So without further ado, here's Howard.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back, Christy, from your vacation. We're going through our vacation schedules now, and so hopefully everyone's had a enjoyable time. So today we're going to talk about scaling up and scaling down. So if you didn't know you can do that, you can do it with Zadara Storage. So if you look at what we call as elastic storage, elasticity, of course, is you can grow and like a rubber band, it can come back to the same size, or it can even decrease depending on how you want to do it. And the thing with that, we have a lot of options on how to scale up and scale down your storage. So for example, if you need to add drives, that's sort of scaling up, and if you don't need so many drives, you can scale it back down. And we have processes to allow you to move data between different types of media for both methods. Another thing is that it's localized to your VPSA, and this gives you a transparency to hosts, so that as you're scaling your VPSA, it's transparent to your servers that are connected to the storage. So, for example, if you have an NFS share and you scale it out to a larger size, that's taken care of in the NFS mount. It just grows, and the host will automatically see that. If you're migrating data between medias, everything's taken care of for you. You don't have to dismount and reattach from your servers. You just keep going, and that's all done with our snapshots. So let me show you a couple examples on how we can do that. So within your provisioning portal, this allows you to scale up your storage. So scaling up storage is basically increasing. So there's, for example, on this particular VPSA, my test east, I can scale up rather rapidly. And so what I could do is, for example, if I need more CPUs, I'll go with the larger engine. Or if I want to add a container around here, I can scale up just simply by doing a submit. And what will happen is that will do it automatically as an admin. So if you're running as an admin on an OPS on site, it'll go ahead and do that automatically. Now, if it's in this public cloud, the operations will approve the process, and it's done within about 15 minutes. Another thing you could do is you can add drives. Now, the add drives is you just go ahead and select how many drives you need, and those are added automatically again if you're admin. But if you're part of a public cloud, what we do a quick approval. We make sure that there's enough resources and things like that. And that's basically the only difference between an admin versus like a regular user. And of course, I'm running as an admin on the public cloud right now. You can also scale down by hibernating. So if you recall, a couple weeks ago we talked about creating VPSAs and finding out the best prices. There's two components of the price. One is the engine. So engine is 49 cents an hour. Now if I hibernate it, this price goes to zero, but you still pay for the drives. For example, you can pay $1.29, and then if you reduce that, it'll drop down to 80 cents for the 4 drives. So you can save significant amount of money over the time when it's hibernated. And we have several customers that do a scale down every day. They do it at night and then resume it back during the morning when they use it. So this is more of an educational type of customer, and they only use it for 12 hours, and there's no need to pay for the other 12 that the VPSA is not being used for. So that's a scaled down type of capability. So we won't create a VPSA, and then we'll go ahead and look at the other things you could do outside of the portal the provisioning portal. So on this particular VPSA, when you scale up, you can add drives, and so I already have a couple drives here added. So if I want to scale up a particular pool, and here's a pool, a SATA 1 pool, I could just create a new rate set. And let's see, create a RAID group, and let's call that so now I have a new RAID set called RAID SATA 2, and now if I want to scale up my pool by adding more storage, I can go ahead and I can basically add or expand this with this new RAID set. And then you have access to the new RAID set that's available to you, and it's done immediately. Now that's pretty straightforward. But what happens if you want to scale down? You can move or migrate the data by copying volumes into different types of media. So, for example, here I have an SSD, and I have several volumes on the SSD. We can look down here. So here I have an I/O zone. Let's say I want to. This is just a database for or like it's sort of like a Dropbox type of application. I can migrate that to a lower class media. And ideally, what you want to do is do the whole thing. If you want to do a whole scale down, you have to migrate everything in that pool. And then here you go to data services. And let's do a migrate, and we can migrate to this particular pool, which is now the SATA. I can migrate existing snapshots or just leave them as is, so everything, if you have any local snapshots that you're retaining for that particular volume, you can go ahead and migrate that at the same time. And this is completely transparent. This is actually, it's migrating now. I also have a Docker attachment to this particular volume. So if I look at the servers, there should be a NFS. There's also a second one here. I guess it's not showing. Maybe I need to scroll down. No.
Hey, Howard, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
We've got a question.
Sure.
Someone was wondering if there's a Fibre Channel HD option for this.
A Fibre Channel HD?
Yeah, FCHD option.
There's a Fibre Channel option on here, but it's at a VPSA level. I'm not exactly sure what the whole question was.
Okay. If you have a further follow-up question, please let us know, and we'll get you more details on your answer. We want to make sure we get that answered for you.
Yeah. So that would be with a Fibre Channel. That's more of a scale out. Well, actually, you call it a scale up. So the Fibre Channel.
Someone else just asked which protocols allow scale up or scale down. For example, Fibre Channel versus NFS versus iSCSI, that kind of thing.
That's all done at the volume level. So, for example, if you want to scale up to Fibre Channel, that would have to be at the block level. So, Fibre Channel is only block. So, if you have for example, if you have a block here, so here I have a block. This one you could attach to another server here, and that would be you'd be able to scale up to a different media. But the only way you can attach through to Fibre Channel is block, and so that anything that's in a data type of a block, that would be accessible by the Fibre Channel.
Okay, great. And we got some clarification on the first question. Is is the Fibre Channel drive option available to install in nodes?
Yes, it is. It's available in 1605. It's not available in the public cloud, and this is the public cloud, of course, AWS, because AWS doesn't have that type of hardware. And we had a Tech Tip Tuesday of maybe a couple months ago on the Fibre Channel, on what you do. And basically, if you don't have Fibre Channel now and it's on site, you can add that option into your cloud, the Zadara cloud, at any time. And basically, you just add the drives, or actually, it's going to be HBA, and then we go ahead and we'll do that, with you on site as you insert the card or the HBA, and then we'll make sure everything's migrated properly. And it may cause a couple failovers of your virtual controllers, and we try to minimize it to a single failover, but it may be two failovers. But in general, you can typically do that without shutting down or having any downtime on your storage.
And in regards to that Fibre Channel Tech Tip Tuesday, it's on our YouTube channel. So in a moment, I'll go ahead and send that link to everyone. So whoever needs more information on that, that's another short video. There was a follow-up question about the protocols too, Howard. They're wondering which host operating systems allow scale up or scale down, Windows versus Unix or so forth.
So they all do that. With a SCSI, on a SCSI drive, you typically have to rescan it from the operating system. It may or may not be readily transparent to the operating system unless you do a physical scan. On the Samba or any type of other shares, that's taken care of automatically. They rescan it, so they'll work on Linux or Windows at that point in time. So that's the transparency of file systems, but with blocks you typically have to log in and out or rescan to see the changes on a LUN. Another thing, got to be careful when you scale or change the size of a LUN. You may have an underlying file system that you formatted the drive on. You have to take into consideration any type of file system you do that with that, or for example, if you're using your block as a database. So that's something you have to do manually, and you can work with the operations team, make sure the process is done correctly. But I would say within everything else in the file systems, it's all transparent. Good questions.
Great, yeah, thank you. We love the activity because we like tailoring this to you guys. So if anyone has any more, chime in. But Howard, please continue because I'm not seeing any follow-ups at the moment.
Okay, so we did this one migration. There should be now a volume somewhere around here. Oh, block one. Yeah, so here I believe we did this one. Actually, we did this one, OwnCloud. So we were talking about OwnCloud, and this one already got, we did a scale down from SSD into SATA. So now, if I do this for the remaining SSDs, I can move them to a slower media, and if that meets all the requirements, that'd be fantastic. And then I could just, basically, I can get rid of the SSDs, return them. Basically, you delete the pool once everything's done, and then from that, I would delete the RAID groups, and then the drives, I just remove them. And of course, if you need to shred them, if there's any data you want to remove, you can do a shred on here, and that's an option that's available to you at any point in time. And so that's how you scale down. And we talked about scaling up. Uh, and basically, that's just adding the RAID groups and drives. You can also do that within the same media. For example, here are the SATA 1 and SATA 2 RAID groups. They're all RAID 1. If I did another one that was like with 4 drives, I can get a RAID 10, and then I can migrate between SATA and get better performance. So if you ever need to do any type of moving data for better performance, it's basically you build a RAID set for your performance, and we talked back a few months ago on how to do that. What you'll do is just migrate data back and forth. And it's all transparent, of course, to the hosts that are attached to the storage. So are there any other questions, Christy?
Yeah, it's kind of actually in relation to what you just said. You talk about scaling up and down, but what about scaling out? How do you do that? I think you touched on it briefly, but you've discussed it a little further.
Yeah, that's a real good question. So the difference or the definition that between scale up and scale out, or just scale up and scale out, what the difference is, one's sort of localized and the other one's is global. Now, when I do any comparison within a VPSA, that's going to be local to the VPSA. So that'd be a scale up or down. Scale out would involve multiple VPSAs. So, for example, if you want to have a petabyte of data, for example, you would scale out with about 10 VPSAs or maybe 5, depending on the type of performance you have. And then you would use block storage, for example, and then you have your file system within your host. That would give you like a huge petabyte volume, or you can go, beyond that, depending on what you want to do. So we do a lot of things like that. We run like ZFS or Btrfs, and I'll talk more on when we do the Zadara Summit. I'm giving a talk on file systems and how to scale out. So that's make sure if you're attending Zadara Summit, make sure you come to the Tech Tip Tuesday that we're going to do there in the summit.
And if you haven't signed up, I'm sending you the link within the chat right now. It's in November this year. All of our partners, customers, and prospects alike are welcome to come join us and learn more about enterprise cloud storage technologies and the VPSA and how Zadara fits into, the entire industry-wide shift from CapEx to OpEx. Additionally, I'm sending a link to the Fibre Channel video that we mentioned. It seemed to be a popular topic. So if you have specific questions about Fibre Channel, take a look at that. Episode 4 of Tech Tip Tuesday. That goes into some good detail. Or you can email Howard at zadarastorage.com. He's also active on Twitter at HowardY. And then if there's another topic you'd like to cover, please go to the bit.ly here. I'm sending this over to you as well, so you can just click it. And we're doing a promotion now where if you submit a topic and we choose your topic, we'll send you a $25 gift card to Starbucks as a thank you for helping us cater this to you, and so you can enjoy some coffee while watching the next Tech Tip Tuesday. I know we do owe a couple people the Starbucks gift card. As Howard mentioned, I was on vacation last week, so I'll be sure to get those over to those that have participated already. So thank you again. If you have any questions about anything we covered, the summit, or anything else, please reach out and we're happy to answer. Still determining what next week's topic will be, but we'll send out an email. We'll post it on Twitter and LinkedIn and all that. So keep an eye out, and we hope to see you next week.